Well, hey, you guys. So one of the earliest lessons that I learned about budgeting is that every single month is going to look different. And as the seasons change and we're in different rhythms, we may have different needs month to month, which is why it is so important to look at your budget every single month. So today I'm sharing some common holiday expenses that you don't want to sneak up on you. And stick around because we're going to talk everything from casseroles to Christmas villages, and you don't want to miss any of it. So at this point in the year, we're pretty much looking at 3 major holidays left. We got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And not to mention the usual changes in your budget with things like your utility bill because the weather's changing and those random birthdays that you have from your kids' friends or even your birthday, right? So things are coming up by the end of the year and these things are expensive. So let's talk about them one by one. First up, let's talk Halloween. So I immediately think of 3 big categories for potential spending in this. So you got your costumes, you got your candy, and your decor. So costumes, let's talk about this, you guys. Okay. One of the best things that you can do if you have kids is to do a costume swap between your group of friends because somebody's got a Thomas the Train engine over here and a tiger over there and a ninja here. I mean, there are costumes everywhere. And let's be honest, if your kids wear a Halloween costume, they're not going to want to wear it again the next year. So it ends up in the playroom, in a bin that just overflows with costumes, right? So everyone has that. So go and say, hey, friends, what do you have here? Because we can maybe do a swap. And also think about the DIY aspect of costumes. Sometimes it really is a good idea. You can throw some stuff together, create a costume, and get a sheet, cut 3 holes in it. You're a ghost. It's great. Perfect, right? So it can be really simple, but also some people go really overboard when it comes to DIY and it ends up costing them more than if you just went to Party City and just bought a costume. So be thinking about this because, again, these things can get expensive, but get creative, be smart, set aside some cash in the budget for costumes. Next is candy. So probably by now, it might already be marked up, but it's going to be marked up more the week of Halloween. So make sure that you go ahead and spend that money, get the candy as soon as possible, because again, it's going to be marked up. And obviously the nice candy, the good candy, the name brand candy is going to be more expensive than the off brand. And most of the time, the kids don't care. They might care when they are sorting their candy, but they're not going to know, who put the dupe in the bin. So if you got to get a bunch of, suckers or something that's really inexpensive and easy, just do that. If you're on a tight budget this year, that's okay. And last is decor. So hear me out. Do you really need the latest style of that cheap mini pumpkin from the dollar section? Or can you just use the ones that you purchased last year on impulse? Yeah, we've all been there, right? So even with the fall and the Halloween decor, it is a theme, it is a thing. So again, whether you do Halloween or not, people are always buying pumpkins or doing this or that. So just be aware and just be thinking through, hey, am I going to want to decorate all this? But look through what you already have because that's going to be key. And obviously, the best way to plan for all of this ahead of time is to know where your income's going on a spending plan, aka a budget. In pretty much every episode, we talk about budgeting, but I swear, this is like the key that is going to help you when it comes to your financial progress. So make sure to check out the EveryDollar app. This is a great app that you create your budget on. You can actually do it for free and you have it with you and you're able then to budget for things like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all these things. So you are prepared ahead of time making that plan, which is key. All right, next up is Thanksgiving, and 2 big expenses come to mind for Thanksgiving. First up, we got travel. And did you know that Thanksgiving is a busier travel holiday than Christmas and New Year's? So the demand is so high, which means it can get really, really expensive. So look at your options when you're traveling, driving versus flying. Think about the airline tickets in advance so you're not booking last minute because usually the prices will go up. Think about the gas if you're going to be driving, long distance of what you're going to be filling up. So again, planning out as much as you can. The travel portion is really important. And then also food. Listen, if you are hosting Thanksgiving, do not be afraid to delegate, okay? Whether it's food and drinks, dessert, table decor, paper products, all of that can add up so quickly. And listen, people want to help. They really do. I think sometimes we feel like we have to be the hero and just do it all. But some people don't even want to show up empty-handed. They want to bring something. So delegate. And people expect it. It's Thanksgiving, okay? So go ahead and just plan it out and say, hey, who's coming? What's going on here? And let's delegate some of this food, the decor, everything else. And again, some relatives, yes, they're going to pay $150 for the custom cornucopia themed sugar cookies. But listen, you be the hero that brings the cheesy corn dip that everybody wants, right? You can do some really inexpensive stuff that people want. That fried okra recipe, that's why people are showing up. Let's be honest. So be smart, be wise, but you still can do it on a budget. All right, before I start talking about all things Christmas, I want to tell you about one thing that I use and I love, and that is Delete Me. So listen, in today's world, you guys, scammers are everywhere when it comes to our online presence because we are putting our information online all the time. And I'll admit it, I have fallen for a scam or two, so no shame. It happens to the best of us. But this is one reason why I love and recommend Delete Me, because Delete Me gives me so much peace of mind because this service goes in and removes your personal info, like your home address, your phone number, and more from hundreds of data broker websites, helping protect you from spammers, scammers, and online thieves, and potentially saving you a lot of time and money. So make sure to check it out. You can go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off. That's joindeleteme.com/Rachel. I'm telling you, I love this service so much. And every month you get an email and they show you every website they've taken your data from and taken it off. And it is incredible. So make sure to check them out. All right, last but not least is Christmas. Oh, there is so much that, gosh, we could talk about when it comes to Christmas because there is a lot of expenses around this holiday. But listen, I want to remind you that you don't have to go and buy a bunch of new Christmas stuff just because it's everywhere, right? Okay, if you want some matching pajamas, like do that ASAP because the truth is the price is going to go up. And also, when you go to a Christmas party, don't feel like you have to buy a new dress. Wear the one from last year because let's be honest, nobody really remembers. Like, let's be realistic about all of this. Now, I do know that this is hard. The temptation is real. And last year I did an entire video about how I'm not buying Christmas decor this year. This was in 2023. Well, then Rachel decided she loves Christmas villages. And so I went on an eBay moment in my life and bought a bunch of new ones. So again, I budgeted for it. It was something that I now have a passion for. Who knew? I'm like an old woman, but they are just beautiful and precious and make my home so warm. I love it. So now that I know that about myself, I'm like, I'm probably going to buy a new, to me, I get them used because they're way less expensive, which is great. So I'm going to put it in the budget. So be realistic, okay? Don't be like, we're not going to do gifts at all this year. And then it gets to be like December 10th. They're like, oh man, I kind of want to do some gifts, right? So don't go extreme if you're not extreme. Just be realistic, plan accordingly. But the key here is to use cash. So many people go into debt for Christmas, whether that's like swiping the credit card for hostess gifts, or again, a new dress here or there for parties or outfits, and Christmas decor and food and travel and like all the things that it comes with and gifts. So be realistic, have a plan, and use cash. All right, if this video was a helpful wake-up call, I'm so glad. Listen, you still have plenty of time to prepare so that you're not blindsided by all the holiday craziness. So be sure to share the love with a friend. And if you're listening on podcasts, make sure to leave a review. And make sure to check out my episode on what I refuse to spend money on this holiday season. And you can check it out right here. Or if you are listening on podcasts, click the link in the description. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.